Hey everybody, this is Simone from Simone Catherine Mystic, and today we are going to talk about how I use the tarot in my day-to-day business activities. So I have a lot of really fun tips for you, and let's just jump right in. It can be hard being a solopreneur because you have to make a lot of decisions, not necessarily knowing if it's going to be the right one. And if you have clients that are mostly online or you're on Zoom all day, it can be a little bit lonely, which for us introverts is pretty cool, but at the same time, it makes it sometimes hard to make decisions in your business. So let me give you a quick overview of what I'm about to tell you, and then we'll jump into the content. Firstly, I'm going to be talking about how I use the tarot to do my copywriting. So I'll talk about sales page, and then I'll talk about something that I call Tarot GPT, which is not a chat GPT that I've trained to read tarot because I wouldn't even know how to do that. And even if I did, I wouldn't do that. Instead, what Tarot GPT is just like the same sort of generative help when it comes to crafting your social media posts. And this is different from ChatGPT in a million ways, but it gives you direct connection with source energy in the universe in order to capture the right type of energy and the right people to your social media posts. Then we'll talk about client management, how I use the tarot for that. And finally, about how I use it to make decisions in my business. And all of that is going to be really juicy. There is one caveat I want to have in there, and that is tarot is just a piece of your business. And so you don't have to rely on everything the tarot says 100%. It gives you places to start. It gives you something to think about. But if there's something that doesn't resonate for you, you absolutely don't have to include it. It's one of the many tools as business owners that we use, including things like your coaches, your biz besties, your own sense logic, right? The tarot is helpful, but it's only one of the many different pieces we may rely on for our business. Don't think that if you pull a card, you have to do what that card says. You have agency. You can do whatever is right for you in that moment, and there's no wrong answer. Finally, the last one, number 5, messaging. I'm going to talk a lot about messaging. This is one of the most common readings that people want and are willing to pay for. So I'm going to talk about how I use it for my messaging as well. All right, let's jump on in. All right, number 1 is copywriting. And in this specific case, I was talking about sales pages. What I do when I am connecting with the universe and sitting down to write a sales page is that I will pull out my tarot and oracle decks in order to fill out the different sections of a sales page. For example, I might start with the headline of the sales page and pull a tarot card to get what kind of feeling might go really well there. I'll put in whatever comes to mind. That's the first draft of the headline of my sales page. I will go back over it and even pull more cards if the message isn't clear. It's an invitation more than anything, and you are the one that ends up filling it out. This is, as I talk about later, kind of like how people use ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT, give me a list of 25 different posts that I could post on my social media. It will generate that. And for some people, and I'm not going to shame people for using it, I'm personally against it, but I don't shame people for using it. But it will give you sort of pretty generic type stuff, right? The tarot can actually offer that same experience without you having to think too much. And if you have brain fog, you're just a little bit off that day, whatever, the tarot is there to support you. And it's sort of a phone call to the universe. Number 2 is the Tarot GPT for socials, which I touched on just a second ago, but let's go a little bit deeper in it. The Tarot GPT is when I'm sitting down to do my social media posts, what I will do is, of course, I have the basic outline of what each of the posts is supposed to do. And if you follow Tosh Corbin, she talks about these different types of posts: reach, nurture, invite, convert, and I think there's more, but I have them all written down. I know that this particular post is going to do the job of getting bigger reach. But then you have to know what angle you're going to come at it with. So yes, you want more reach, but what is the angle that you're going for? So is it going to be like a cute story? Is it going to be a funny joke, an inspirational quote, a picture of you with your cat? The options are really endless, but that's where the tarot comes in. Let's do an example. Let's say we got the Hermit card and it's in the reverse position. And so if this is a reach post, what this is talking about is upping the sense of community in that post and giving you a clearer idea of what it would be like to be inside your community. I do that for all the social posts. Sometimes they come really naturally to me and I can just type them out. But if I'm getting stuck creatively, I can always turn to this source of inspiration and it always delivers. By the way, you can use tarot or oracle. There's really no limit to how you use this type of inspiration, but tarot and oracle do a really good job of it. Number 3 is client management, and client management is taking a person from not knowing who you are up until the end of the journey of having purchased something from you, you delivering that, and then the follow-up that comes from that. So that's what I would consider the client journey. And then, of course, sort of feeding back into it again and wanting to work again with you. And so what I do with the tarot is if I'm ever unsure what I should say to the person, should I come in a little bit hot? Should I shy away? What is the vibe? And this helps me as a neurodivergent person because I don't always pick up on social cues like normal people do. I'm a really nice person, but I just don't always pick up on the right social cues. My intentions don't always match the way I come across to people. But that's also true for anybody, even if you're neurotypical. You could be trying to come across a certain way and somebody wouldn't be getting that. You don't always know what the other person is up against. Even if it's people you know pretty well, maybe they're having a bad day or maybe they're having a really good day. That's what the tarot can signal to you. So you pull a card. Let's say we're looking at a random message on a Facebook chat and we see that this card has come in. This is the 10 of Wands in reverse. If this is a person who had been recently going through some hardships, they may have transitioned out of that, and it might be a good idea to check in with them and see how their energy is. For example, if it was somebody who had a sick kid, you could be like, oh, how is the little one? And then, of course, there's a lot of different ways to use it in client management. If you're interested in more, you can comment below and ask me. Number 4 is decision making. Decision making for me is when I'm really torn and I'm just not sure what to do. This happened to me a couple of days ago, and I wasn't sure whether I wanted to offer a specific package or a specific membership. So I pulled out my cards and I put a lot of cards down. They don't have to be in any fancy order, but if you're choosing something, if you're making a decision, you'll want to have one clear pile for one decision and one clear pile for the other option. So a yes and a no on a certain project, and it'll give you the nuance. If you're not really that deeply into the symbols of the tarot, then I would recommend you start with Oracle. And if you're not even that far along with Oracle, I would recommend you just put one Oracle card in the yes pile, one Oracle card in the no pile, and just get a sense. Again, you are the leader of your business. No Oracle deck or tarot deck is going to do all the work for you. But it's one of those creative ways in which you can start to converse with the universe. And that rhymed, by the way. Lovely. You can start to converse with the universe and get universal guidance on situations where you might feel like, I'm the only one making this decision and this is so heavy. The universe really wants to support you. Spirit wants to support you. If you give the universe or the spirit guides more of a chance, it's going to help your business and your own sense of well-being and mental health. Number 5 is messaging. And this is the biggest one. This is my favorite one to do. You can use either tarot or astrology. There are more options in the messaging sector. You can sit down and ask tarot cards, what is my niche? So I would say, let's take our first one here. This is the Six of Cups, and this depicts a happy family life. There's a little town, a couple of kids smelling the roses, happy full cups, and it looks like a beautiful situation, but you clearly have it in the reverse position. For this hypothetical person, their niche would be around this loss of peace in the family home. So in that case, I'm just guessing, but it could be talking about relationships with the children, or could be talking about neurodivergent children in the home, or whatever it is where there's tension and bad feelings inside the home. That would be the niche. And we continue from there. We talk about your unique selling point. What is it that you bring that other people don't have, right? And that gives you that competitive edge. You can even ask Spirit, what words should I use to signal to the people who want my service and want to pay for it? So let's imagine that we're pulling the card for that. And here we go. We've got the Star card. This one talks about lost sense of hope and lost sense of guidance. In this hypothetical situation, you could say something about the specific words being hopelessness. And you don't have to ramp up their pain or anything, but you could say, hey, listen, I know that you've been feeling a little hopeless around this situation, but there is hope, right? Those words are magic. They really are. You get this chance to leave yourself little breadcrumbs around the internet of people who would be interested in working with you based on the words that you agree to use with the universe to bring you those people. So you would know that the people who posted on that post are part of the people who are willing to pay you right now, if that's your edge, right? Let me know how this helped and what other content or questions come up for you so I can make more of these types of videos and hopefully help you further in this journey that is spiritual business, because it's difficult in so many ways. And so it's really nice to have Spirit on your side, to have the universe supporting you. And it makes the whole thing a lot more enjoyable. And it also makes it feel like it has a sense of purpose and is going somewhere. Thank you for watching, and let me know in the comments any questions you have. Thank you. Bye.